Another game of Super Rugby AU, and it was another cracker, man. Waratahs 38, Rebels 32. Waratahs desperately needed to get a win, preferably a bonus point win. They didn't get the bonus point, but they did get the win. So it all comes down to next week results to see who manages to snatch that third spot. The Waratahs will be hoping and praying that the guys from Western Australia can do them a favour, but I think if the Rebels manage to get even a relatively small win over the Force, which they should be the favourites to do, given the Force are as yet without a win, then yeah, it'll be the Rebels who manage to sneak through in that third spot. But yeah, this game, man, it was an absolute cracker. What can I say? It started with a Rebels penalty. I'll go through some of the key moments and some stats and whatnot, and you guys can let me know your thoughts if you've seen it. But really good game. 3-0 to the Rebels early, but then Jake Gordon got the first try of the game. On 6 minutes, the Tars went like six faces, and he just sniped under the posts. He kind of faked right slightly, and the gap opened for him, and he went through. So 7-3, first lead change. A bit of handbags, and the Tars got told off for like escalating the event by running in, I guess. But I don't know. Bit of handbags is alright. These teams have got a bit of feeling. As the commentator said, like nobody's going to throw a punch. When was the last time you saw it? I think the last time I've seen guys throwing a punch at Super Rugby level was like Skalk Brits and Aka van der Merwe going at it in South Africa, and the time before that would have been ages ago. But anyway, there's a penalty off the posts for the Rebels. After that, kind of handbags. That doesn't make a big difference in terms of the overall score, although they did miss a conversion as well, so maybe the goal kicks were a bit of a factor. Anyway, Dempsey gets a try on 22 minutes, and he's been in cracking form. He's very dangerous ball in hand, man. 9 phases for the Waratahs, or at least 9 phases. Too much pressure. He goes over. The Tars go close again on 32 minutes. There's a knock-on after a bunch of phases, and the Rebels' exit is pretty poor. 36 minutes, though, after the Tars have had essentially half an hour of straight pressure on the Rebels, and they haven't had that much in the way of scoreboard pressure. Hannigan gets yellow carded after a period of actually the Rebels, getting a bit of momentum. And not long later, Tamua goes over for a try. So they get the extra man and they go over for a try. They check the grounding. Tamua hit the ball at pace from not too far out. And it's suddenly 10 points to 14. And I was really wondering, how on earth is it 10-14? I mean, the Tars did kick a penalty right before halftime, so it goes in halftime 17-10. So the Tars are one try to the good. But you look at the numbers, and it seems incredible that the Tars were only 7 points up. They had 62% possession, 68% territory, 145 run meters to 87. Their tackling was apparently, according to ESPN, at 100%. But they'd only had to make 17, whereas the Rebels were at 92% and had to make 65. So 92% is still really good. You can see why they weren't conceding more tries, the Rebels. But I guess one black mark on the Tars is their line-out throwing was only at 77%. I was watching the game with some people on a live stream, and they mentioned the same thing. Tars line-out is costly, and it proved to be costly because the Rebels, for the whole game, operated 100% of the line-out time. So, yeah, if you can't secure your own ball, there's going to be problems. Second half starts, the yellow card period kind of concludes. The Rebels have got a bit of pressure early. And after it's back to 15-on-15, Nasarani gets his first try. It's from a maul, it kind of splinters, and he picks a good opportunity to run to the side. And he had a bunch of tackles in this game as well. So Nasarani, even though he's on a losing team, I think if he'd won the match, he probably would have been man of the match. But yeah, it's 17 apiece at that point. And I guess both these teams are a little bit guilty of this, is conceding points directly after scoring points, which is a coach's absolute nightmare. The Rebels do this because Harry Johnson-Holmes goes over for a try. The Tars go 10 plus phases, and it's all from Naisarani actually not releasing the ball when they're trying to work the ball into a position to kick it for their exit play. He let the ball go on the. Well, he didn't let the ball go. He looked like he was going to let the ball go in a tackle and then pick it up again and go again, but he didn't let the ball fully go, so he got pinged for that. And so he does kind of go from hero to villain at that moment. And it's 24-17. 54 minutes, the Rebels get a yellow card warning for conceding too many penalties, especially offside. And a minute later, Walton goes over for his try. I think they said it was his first try for the Tars. Hooper with a nice little inside ball. Hooper maybe actually could have had man of the match as well because he set up a fair bit of what the Tars were doing. I thought Deegan was a wee bit weak on the D for that one. The Rebels' defence was just generally a wee bit weak. But on 61 minutes, Korobiti goes over. Here it is. Korobiti's probably the try of the match. And again, this is kind of that same deal with conceding points not long after you've just scored points. Like 55 minutes, 61 minutes. It's not that long later. Maybe that's long enough to consider it not directly from the restart, but still. Korobiti's try is probably the try of the match. It's worth looking up if you haven't seen the highlights. He gets the ball, and there's a bit of space, but there's three men coming across to cover him. One of them's Michael Hooper, who's pretty quick, and there's definitely not enough space for him to score a try. He's tackled 5 meters out, but somehow manages to slide over and get the ball down in the corner before he's even put in touch. So, absolutely wonder try, and a great conversion from the sidelines. Makes it 24 points to 31. 64 minutes though, Phillip gets a yellow card for interfering at the line out, and it's a bizarre one. It seems pretty soft for a yellow card, but this ref, I don't know, he was sometimes just pretty quick on the whistle, and it is what it is. Tars got held up not long later, and actually Nasarani gets the next try on 70 minutes. Meeks, I think, was probably out in the build-up play. Not 100% sure, but Billy Meeks was on the left wing. Managed to keep the ball in play, maybe. And from the resulting play, Nasarani is able to go over. So, despite the fact they got a man down, they score a try. They missed the conversion, though, crucially. So it's 29-31 to the Tars. And then just as people in the stream were saying, don't choke now, Rebels. You need to keep going, not concede points. Deegan gets charged down. It's Hooper. That's what I mentioned about him being into a bit of everything. And Harrison is the first man to regather the ball. He goes over for a try, so it's 38 points to 29. And the Rebels do kick one more penalty to make it 38-32. So the Rebels, the fact that they get a losing bonus point and the fact that the Tars couldn't get a winning bonus point means that everything is in the Rebels' favour. So that last penalty was a pretty costly one for the Tars. The fact they couldn't get the winning bonus point try is also pretty costly. So, the final play of the game was a bit crazy because the Tars won a penalty. Hooper runs down the sideline, kicks it through. Korobiti's the one who cleans it up. He's in his own in goal, and he tries to start organising something from his own in goal, but Hodge, when he gets a loose ball from the ground, has the sense just to run it out. So smart or cool heads prevail for the Rebels. It's a loss, but it may be going to feel like a win in the fact that they picked up that bonus point. So good win for the Tars. Good crowd. I'm not sure what the rules were about limited attendance, but it seemed like a pretty good crowd. One of the better ones I've seen at Leichhardt Oval anyway. So, kudos to everyone who got out there. You got treated to one hell of a game. Final stats, run meters 197 to 216 in favour of the Tars. It's pretty close. Possession and territory 53-47, 48-52. The possession in favour of the Tars, the territory in favour of the Rebels. So, pretty tight. It evened out, kind of a game of two halves. Turnover conceded 11 by the Rebels, 9 by the Tars. Some of the breakdown work was pretty good. The line-out continues to be a problem. It was 75% for the Tars, 100% for the Rebels. Tackling percentage, both sides were in the 90s. Rebels had to make a lot more tackles than the Tars, 62 to 117. Wilkin had 15 out of 16 tackles. Dempsey had 41 run meters, so he was into a bit of everything. But yeah, I would say in all likelihood, it'll be the Rebels who go through in this competition, but they still have one more game to play. The Tars just have to wait and see. So yeah, very entertaining game. If you're going to stay up until, what is it now, 11:15, it's hopefully for a good game, and this one certainly was that. So yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts on the game. What did you think of it? Other moments that I've missed and kind of key plays and whatnot. And how do you rate the Rebels or Tars chances of going through in the third spot in Super Rugby AU? But yeah, take care guys, and I'll talk to you again soon. See you later.